convenience, or you sell something that you know is a lifestyle companion to your customer, and just stick to that.
Okay.
I promise you, you don't even have to invent the wheel, you know?
Yeah. I don't think they intentionally decide, because like you're saying, okay, no sane company wants to push their customers away.
Yeah.
But I think we live in a society where the culture of calling the companies to book. Study the brands you want to collaborate with. Study the people you want to collaborate with. Figure out what steps you need to take for them to take you seriously. Remember, they're not in the business of what you do. They're in the business of what they do. So make yourself valuable to them. Make it easy for Pulumo to get to his desk tomorrow morning on Monday. Go through
Welcome to the third episode of the Majiteng podcast. As you guys already know, Majiteng, we talk about the entertainment industry, but we try to break it down a bit better. The idea is for you to understand the different sectors that exist within this very broad industry, so that if you're at home and you want to get into it, or you're at home and you're already in it, you might understand some of the minor details that help you excel in it. And how we do that is by inviting people who are industry experts, who've lived it, who are doing it, who've done it. So you can take what they say to the bank. This is what they know, this is who they are, this is what they work with. Today's episode, we're talking about branding, we're talking about brand management, we're talking about advertising, we're talking about managing talent and managing brands as is. And our guest today, we have Pulumo Taole, goes by Spudanza, to those who know him personally. And then we have Karima Baker, who goes by Mr. Maps, to those who know him even better. Gentlemen, welcome to the Majiteng podcast.
All good, brother.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
Pleasure to be
How
here.
are you guys feeling, man?
Pleasure to be here, brother.
Yeah. Always lovely. No, let's talk about branding. I think if we can, let's get into defining things. Let's talk about what is branding? What is advertising? When can I consider myself a brand? When can our beautiful hosts here at Bond Lifestyle consider themselves a brand? How do we then, qualify it? Yes.
Mr. Maps?
Please.
Oh, okay.
So deal with the experts. So you are talking experts.
Yeah. For me, I actually most of the times I explain it in simple terms: marketing and branding, or brand. So I would say marketing is short term, branding it's long term. Simple as that. So it goes with the philosophy that you believe in, how you interact with your customers, how you deal with your suppliers and stuff, and that is called branding. So, for example, you take you take people like or brands like your Red Bull. When you think about Red Bull, what do you remember? Extreme sports.
Extreme sports, yes.
What do you remember when you talk about Coke? Happiness. Yeah, that's what we call branding.
Okay.
So they have positioned themselves in that kind of way. So there are a lot of aspects that goes along with them, but branding, it's that. So when you come to personal branding, is how you actually want to, how people should perceive you, to understand you. If you know this, AKA. If you know AKA, you know his personal brand. Whatever your drama king, that's his persona. So having a personal branding is actually making the name for yourself.
Okay.
And know that it's not short term, and you do smaller things to actually
build the brand.
Build the brand.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that is branding, and it comes with smaller marketing attributes that you do daily to actually ufihlele to the pinnacle where we say this is you. With brands, you have big brands that are still even good now because there's some branding gives you the opportunity to have goodwill, you know. So
Okay.
that means it lives forever. I would use a certain bag because my mom used it, trusted it. That's the branding that
That's in the
they,
branding, okay.
yeah. So it lives with the legacy, goes on and on and on. Yeah. So I think for me, I can in
That's how you go
short.
as far as- yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mr. Maps?
I think you said enough for both of us.
No, you can touch on advertising.
I agree with everything he's saying. And just to add on to that, you know, to be a brand, you first have to have a product, a commodity. So what branding means to me, or what it means to be a brand, is the story behind that commodity or the story behind that product.
Yes.
So the examples he's made about brand loyalty, sebedisa banka itseng because your mom used to use it, is the story she has or the story she envisions when she thinks about that brand.
So it's not even as much as what the brand itself would be trying to communicate. So now there's maybe a secondary level that you guys are saying.
no, like
It's actually the
I
same
said, the
thing.
branding is
Yeah.
how you as the consumer
Yeah.
feel about the brand.
Yeah.
So that in itself
And also it's
comes
by
from
design.
what story is the brand telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they sell a story, and
Yes.
that story should live forever. I will ask you a question. What's your most interesting ad that you know from a young age, even now? Like, you don't even have to mention Vodacom. I know
Yeah.
it's your best, but, but you know.
No,
you
there's a
can-
bunch. As you asked
Just
that,
one,
the
just
one that
one.
came to mind from childhood was there was a Mazda ad that did the zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Mabs, what's your favorite?
Yeah, bro, there's a lot, man. You remember Stone, 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 Stone? Yeah, there was a crazy Stone one. Then express a thirsty fella, how you
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I still remember the Sprite one that Kaboy obey your thirst.
Even when it explodes, when you kind of open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obey your instincts.
Obey your
Something.
instinct, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, ka gola mo ne ke batla ho ya fela ko hore, it's very important to sell a story that
Yeah.
lives forever and make sure that like he said, there should be a product, but how do you qualify it?
Yeah.
To make sure it sticks. It's a so try so rekisetsa di bundle it's a taro. You know? Come on. But there's a story that you need to sell.
Yeah.
What does it solve? What's
Okay.
the purpose? you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, okay, on that, you're selling a story, but you'll be a brand. Let's use Bond here, you know, Bond Lifestyle as an example.
Yeah.
They want to promote a certain product, and then obviously that speaks to their brand. How do you then pivot? How do you tell a new story? How do you introduce new products within that brand?
Easy example, like Bond is a premium barbershop, right? So here we are having premium coffee. That's the new product that keeps me here, right? Yeah.
Okay. So, but I would like you to...
Generally, an example.
Yes, I understand. But in that example, or in any other example you can provide, that can you ventilate a bit better how me starting a company, I do Party Polo Logistics, right? And initially, it was just helping you guys get your things from Take a Lot. I bring it to the country, you pick it up. Business grows, I get into maybe trucking or whatever. And so there's new services, and maybe I'm now nationwide and all of that. You're trying to grow your client base, you're trying to grow your product list, but you're trying to stick on brand as well. How do you pivot? How do you grow with it? Can you get into the finer details of how you stay on brand as your company scales up?
Yeah. For me, I would say sometimes you just have to choose that one aspect that you know, I can actually provide this. You can provide, there are a lot of logistics companies, but can you sell convenience? Can you sell affordability? Trustworthy? Are you dependable?
Yeah.
You know, so why do you buy KFC even now? You know, they make their food quite quick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But if oya kai or one go tsadla papeka na mongaka, you know, it might take long, you know.
Yeah.
But when you call them and you after calling them they follow up, they want to know your location, they will deliver that food. You might not even like the food, you just want to satisfy the hunger. So just make sure that you sell convenience, or you sell something that you know is a lifestyle companion to your customer, and just stick to that.
Okay.
I promise you, you don't even have to invent the wheel. You know,
Yeah.
just be there. Ska rekisa ha o letho kapo ha ke sure kapo ke tla gutela wena mongaka wa bona?
Yeah.
So when I know that I come to bond,
Yeah.
and I know
You want to know
this
what-
guy who's
You know exactly
who's
what to
cutting
expect.
my hair,
Yeah.
when he's not here, Hot Malani will do the same thing.
Okay.
That's branding, because he has that style is the same. Ha ke re ke kutue ke lehakwe. But Hot Malani hang kuta, you still get the same thing.
Yeah.
I have a problem with my scalp. Yeah, I wanna lefata le akala. They both know. They both know. So
Take
while
our stuff,
I'll
okay.
come here and
Yeah.
pay that money.
Yeah.
It's a premium barber shop, but I still have friends of mine, Mozimani Makutanga, not even a quarter, $25 for this.
Yeah.
You know? And I'll still come here and pay
Yeah.
more because of that convenience. I don't have to call the guy and say, "Where are you?" I'm fit to sell you blomara, get am I'm fit. I got money got taxi. But
Yeah.
when I'm here, it's open.
Yeah.
You have your coffee, you have everything, and I think
Yeah.
as yeah,
So maybe just like consistency.
consistency, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I have to ask, and this is not to shake up the hornet's nest or whatnot, but in this country, there's a trend of complacency amongst our service providers and companies. We expect to uphold a certain standard, and some argue that it's because they know there's no competition. You won't go anywhere else, kind of thing. So would you say that's them not speaking to their brand, or they're now creating a new kind of brand that's not so positive or uplifting?
For me, I would say yes, problems do occur, and we try. We say we are really like a company. But I would
Yeah.
say companies try to actually meet the needs of their customers as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And as from corporate side of things, I would say it's actually not true to say we look things in that way and say, Connor, we know that we are the only ones. There's nowhere they can go. Companies try to keep their customers as much as they can. Yeah. I just want to say, I think sometimes there's someone in the company who's not doing what they should do. You know, but we try to solve those things. But I promise you, I think it's a myth. Companies don't actually think that. They actually want more. You know, and
Yeah.
so I wouldn't say even companies that have don't have that customer care have the belief that they
They have a monopoly or something.
yeah.
Maps, what are your thoughts on this?
A bit of both, in the sense that I don't think they intentionally decide, because like you're saying, no sane company wants to push their customers away.
Yeah.
But I think we live in a society where the culture of calling the companies to book, we don't make enough noise. We're dormant people. So they see no reason to fix it if it's not broken.
I've had guests on this show in previous shows, previous episodes rather, and I'm often an advocate for naming and shaming. And each time, my brother in corporate. I believe that's the thing. I'm glad you guys are both here on this to speak on that, because as someone who advocates for naming and shaming, I would maybe argue that quickly may become my brand. I'm someone who speaks out and calls it out. And I also quite quickly qualify that by saying that I don't just speak ill of companies that do me bad. I believe if you're a namer and shamer, you should be someone who also gives flowers.
Talks the good, yeah.
You know, if you've had good
can
service.
name and fame.
Yeah. Name and fame sometimes. Yeah. So if you had good service at this, or you had a good experience working with this company, talk to it. Talk about it. You know, tell the story and pay it forward. However, I fully agree or believe that if you had a poor experience with this company or a certain establishment, you should speak on it. And my argument always is on that end is that you're saving the next person from going through that stress.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
But if you're an advocate for that, that's your personal branding also.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know, when
Wasudis.
kapa motho yo mongwe a volatile a kwatile fela
What do you mean?
What do you mean? So for me, I sometimes think that, hey, just be careful.
Yes.
Just be careful. One day you might be
Burn a
knocking on the
bridge.
same company and
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, Mfethu, what's happening?" But you just have to manage it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it also it or felabo hantle Facebook man wena or felabo nja nothing
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So it means that Facebook, your name and shame,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
There's a digital print on that.
It is fully. So actually, can we talk on that? On you created a nice segue on personal branding. You know, I don't think, just quickly to wrap up that past conversation, I don't think to name and shame it needs to involve vulgarity. You don't need to swear on the company. You can purely just speak on your experience and how you struggle to get 1, 2, and X services. So for example, maybe a delayed payment and they were giving you the runarounds. You can speak on that and say, this is what I did, this is what I did. I tried to talk to so-and-so. No one is talking to me. They're just pushing me to the side. I think in a way, it brings the company itself, it makes them aware that there's someone who's not doing their job in one way or another. And even if I don't speak on it, we live in a country where word of mouth is actually far more powerful
Absolutely.
Than digital marketing.
any
Absolutely.
platform you use. So just because I'm not talking about it, it's actually more dangerous if I'm talking about it verbally. I'm fully now giving the details. Then I can be vulgar. Then I can be like, hey, I'm trying to know. So I can I can show receipts and all of that. But you guys will never know as the company. So you never take Maps and bring him to call. Like, hey, Maps, this is your account. What's happening? Why hasn't this been taken care of? I feel like more often than not, these companies are quick to antagonize people who make them aware of the shortcomings of the company. And they are quick to blacklist you, as opposed to asking so-and-so who's now being implicated in this, hey, what's happening here? So that I feel like the response should be, hey, Party Polo, we spoke to Maps, he's the one in charge of your account, you didn't submit your tax clearance. You didn't do this. How can we pay you when you didn't do this? And also, I don't want you to call me. Put it on the same platform I put you on blast on.
Or about replying.
Reply me there with the same energy I came with.
yeah,
Obviously, more professional because you're
of
you
course.
are a corporate entity.
Of course.
But sure, listen, we hear you. But how do we now help you with your payments when we've been calling you, these are the receipts, these are these. As opposed to you just blacklisting me and labeling me as a...
But you also have to remember that as people in these positions, right? So you can only hope that a person is that qualified for that particular position in that institution, as opposed to Fumano Urutimo, and he has access to their Facebook or Instagram account and I'll beat her. And from that point of view. No, you've had circumstances where incorporated in Garabarana.
Yeah.
Fumano I was in Yawaritzingamono, it was just le yena ka boyena ha
Chalenta, this kira bosi
ke etsa masala ke etsa masala
Labor Day there.
a jere tjene ke balance hore it's a company incorporated
Yeah,
Yeah.
no tama go
This boys
itse
and
he or
girls.
she.
But ke etsa masala ka yona ntho eno ya go fela there has to be professionalism on that end for that dialogue to take
Yeah.
place to understand how you do react I'll respond professionally and blah 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 blah.
But in truth, that's the bare minimum that we expect from professional entities.
Like, yeah, so that's a different conversation.
You know, yeah. We also you also know what, I guess, speaking to the brand, you know what brand you're dealing with. You know how they approach and how they go about it. But Faye, I did take a segue. What I wanted to really talk on is how does one fully build a personal brand? How do I go from just being Nkopane to being Ndade Nkopane at third floor
To Nkopane
to maybe
Deluxe.
being Party Polo if I want to just segue and get into a different industry and talk on that. How do I go about it? I understand that building a corporate brand is incremental. It's about the regular advertising and marketing you do, but then how do you go about it? Yeah.
I do understand. I want to go back from what you said. You said something like you do name and shame, right? You do name and fame.
Yeah.
You do name and fame, right?
I do both.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Also, because I know the nature of the company, the
Yeah.
company culture here.
Yeah.
It's not always on social media. So naming and faming and naming and shaming, it's more in the word of mouth.
Yeah.
When someone asks, when Maps comes to me and say, "Hey, I'm tendering to Vodacom. I
Yeah.
know you've done some work with Vodacom.
Yeah.
What's your experience with them?" I'll tell them my honest experience with them, good or bad. You know,
Okay.
that's how I go about my business.
This is where I'm going. You spoke about also word of mouth is so powerful.
Yeah.
So, for example, I had a lady come to me and say, "I once spoke to you on the phone. You were so nice to me with our interview. We wanted to get some information about your company and stuff. I hope you keep that, and you helped me so much because with my research, I got people who have rejected me, given me short answers and stuff, and you were the only one who actually went in length,
Yeah.
But I want to tell you, contrary to that, like 4 or 5 years later, someone said the opposite of that.
Yeah.
You were so mean. You think you're what? Now you own that company. It's not your company. You were so rude with my proposal, and you were so mean.
Yeah.
So for me, you see, the first person can actually that word of mouth, contrary to the second one. You understand that is my personal branding. Pulumo
Sure.
Nana Vodacom and get hike up.
Yeah.
How come Mana Hana GD6 ya Vodacom? You understand?
Yeah.
That people saying things like that. So it starts there. It starts saying, I'm gonna treat everyone right. I don't know their power. I
Yeah.
don't know their strength.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge them. You understand? I also think it's a very good practice as a person, not for me as a Christian also. It says a lot. You just
Yeah.
have to treat every organ. Now you're down. Just
Yes.
try to bring that positive energy. I promise you, it goes a long way. Better than you think. Like you
Yes.
said.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is powerful.
It's power in this country.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
So you would rather have that strong thing that it's genuine than say I'll get a job through a friend of mine. You understand? Or through someone who knows me, or who knows someone who knows me. You understand? So I would say building a personal brand starts there. Starts with your posting, the stories that you put, the captions, everything. Because believe me, the hiring manager or anyone who's going to give you a tender, they're going to dig
Yeah.
and see what is this person doing, what's their reputation, how do they conduct them. So Motla, like we were saying before we started, I saw a notification that you viewed my profile.
Yeah.
You wanted to know, and if there are things that were ill there.
Yeah.
No tlotla o makala, "Hai, hot malaya to ntho tse tjena,"
Ke yena
you
motho a
understand?
kopane le ene,
Eh,
yeah,
tada.
yeah.
So personal branding starts with you answering that call that you don't know and starting to treating people like they are people. Yeah, I promise you, that is the biggest lesson. Then from there, obviously, delivery, picking that one thing that you know that I'm gonna sell convenience. I'm gonna be there when that supplier flops. I'm gonna deliver on time. Stuff like that.
Fair enough. Okay. Maps, what are your feelings on personal branding?
I think two things are very key.
Yeah.
Ya pele, you need to have something you stand for. Your brand needs to stand for something. Like, hold on, I'm gonna repeat what he said, but in a different way. You know. Mm-hmm. You need to represent something that people can relate to. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As maps, masala, like you may not like me, but you'll respect me. Like my whole brand sells reliability. It sells premium delivery, right?
Yeah.
So you have to stand for something that people can actually gravitate towards. Ebobedi is collaboration, man. I think it's very important to collaborate with people because collaboration gives you outside perspective.
Nice.
It teaches you what you don't know. If I collaborate with Pulumo, people who follow his brand start following mine,
Yes.
right? It becomes a cross fertilization of ideas and stuff. So that collaboration is a result of, what collaboration then does is creates word of mouth.
Yeah.
Because his people start talking about my brand
Yeah.
to their people and vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just to add on that, I
Yeah.
want to just to share a few, don't be afraid to innovate and maybe mohlala, do your own thing and maybe come up with words or innovate something that is new. Nobody has
Spudanza.
done. Yeah. I get it.
And I love Spudanza.
Last Spudanza.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
For an example, Steve Jobs, the word podcast was created by Apple, because it's an iPod. They started with an iPod and broadcast, and they merged the two words, and it became podcast.
Okay.
It was created by Apple. No one else but Apple. In an iPod, they had a feature called podcast.
Yeah.
They're saying you can listen to it, and they would say 1,000 songs in your pocket. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you were like, I want to listen. I want to have this.
You want to have this, yeah.
So I think as a personal brand, you and start doing your own thing and just advocating for it. Don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I've failed a lot of times. Yeah. Yep.
Noted.
Yeah, look from D.
Hey. Okay. Now, I think some of the things that were touched on here, I'm curious about in building the personal brand. Most corporates in the country take Facebook famehood really seriously.
Hey, bro.
If you're moving numbers on Facebook, you are definitely someone who immediately is on the radar of people who will spend money. All right, and in speaking on building a personal brand, not enough people in this country are aware of the length and breadth of a digital footprint. People move mad on these social media apps. And I think you guys are very aware of social media marketing, and you're also in a position where you vet people through social media.
Yeah.
So what piece of advice maybe would you provide to someone who's trying to build a brand that will attract customers to their services or their product, as to how should they conduct themselves on social media, and how can they maybe start to shape up their digital footprint to be in alignment with their personal brand and in alignment with what sells in the Lesotho market?
All right. Let me answer that first because I won't have much to say because I'm very bad at like personal social media.
Okay.
But I do a lot of corporate social media, so it's strange like that.
Okay.
But the one thing that I could say to a person who's trying to push a social media brand like that is consistency. You know, be consistent at what you do. Oh, first of all, find your tribe. Find people who are into you know.
Okay.
Find people who laugh at and focus on those people. Don't try to please everybody. Focus on the people who are following what it is you're trying to push.
Okay. Okay.
And focus on them consistently.
But how do you shape your message? You know, what advice would you go as far as shaping the message? How do you maybe get to know your client base better so that this
Ask
message...
They're your client base. Ask them. Read their comments. Create engagement. Learn. Yeah.
Go live.
Go live.
So I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Just to end on that, I think for me, I always advise people who want to get into this social media space. They will come to me, hey, hot man, I guess fing, Vodacom,
Yeah.
I was correction. I need followers, man, not likes. You know,
I've got content.
Yeah. So I would say I'll be proud enough to say people like Mavele. These are people who I started with from. His TikTok account was started in my phone. You know, I pushed him to actually say, "Hey man, you need to create this thing called TikTok." This was during COVID times. Yeah, and the regime
Okay.
we started that TikTok in my phone. He didn't even believe in this. And I said to him, you're going to have an Apple Watch, you're going to have an iPhone. For you to be that brand. It's like Apple Series 7 or 8, you know? That was one thing I could say. Those are smaller aesthetics, or I would call them cosmetics. As a public figure, you need to have to appeal to people. You understand? Then we say content is king. Create content first. Start with your content, engage with the people, then corporate will come later. Maybe 2 years later.
Yeah.
You see, it takes time.
Yeah.
But it's important for you to actually engage with the people, know what's trending. I know sometimes you need to be a little bit naughty, but be careful because actually,
naughty,
who two-sided legs and and stuff. You know, try to adapt to the sounds that are trending. Try to make, So it's a content resonate and levato. Skats bahala it's a 1, 2, 3. So I'll be proud to talk about Mavele Aholo because we started this thing, and he pushed it, and now So he started. How he's a DJ now.
Yeah.
He has a duo now.
Yeah.
Then he sings also.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Bro.
Yeah.
So
He's a busy boy.
That boy drives, So those are kind of things they can do. People could actually copy him. You don't have to do all things that he does, but he's an example. Look at Kots, and these are people who create. Oh, his TikTok is close to 200. It's past 200 because of
200,000.
200K. Yeah.
Yes.
So
cheapest.
He's doing that because
shout out to the man.
Yeah, and he knows what the people want.
Yeah.
And it's important. Know what they want.
Find your tribe.
Yeah. So when we speak to him and say, we want you to push 1, 2, 3, he will tell you, no, Wednesday it won't work. My people watch this Thursday. It's an example.
Yes. But
so they know this kind of things. Yeah.
Okay.
So learning from these kind of people that have worked from the Vodacom side of things is that I know the influence. These people know their audience. They know what they want, and they will tell you, if I'm going to give out a phone, I need to hold it. You know, I'm not just going to speak about it. They are not going to believe me. You understand? And what they will need. So those are things. You start about audience here high to an extent the emofang or the icon. Yeah. So for me, content is king, bro.
Yeah. You speak something that sparks, I guess, a previous conversation that was had on this podcast with the amount of influence and trust that these corporates or Bembamukok, if you will, will place in the content creators and people who essentially help to propel your brand. How do you go about, you as an influencer or as an ambassador or as an aspiring brand, how do you go about convincing such and such that, listen, this is what this market needs. This is who you guys are trying to attract. I have that pull. I need you, for example, like you're saying with Kots. I need you to give me the phone. I need you to give me access to this. How do you go about, as you do your brand alignment, as you build your brand? How do you now,
As an influencer?
as an influencer, or just maybe from a marketing agency, as someone who's trying to show you, listen, you need this product as a corporate, as government, as so. How do you show your value to this entity that, listen, we have this product. This is who we are. We can help you build your brand or propel your brand to the market you've been trying to target.
I think one of the easiest things is, you need to first understand the brand you're approaching, right? Understand their mandate, understand their goal, because you have to remember that they're not in the influencer business. They're in whatever business they're in, mashallah, Vodacom, they're in telecommunications. So you have to show them value of what you're bringing with alignment to what they do, with alignment to their brand, with alignment to their goals, with alignment to their, and then.
And how do you do that?
Study them, study the brand, figure out the gap, figure out what they're not doing, and show them how you can make a difference. Yeah.
So are you saying an influencer approaching a corporate or corporate approaching an influencer?
No, so it's all about going to the corporate. So it's not necessarily you're an influencer. You could be an influencer. You could be myself. I'm a voiceover artist. I'm like, listen, Bond.
Yeah.
I see you guys do 1, 2, 3. I think we can collaborate in this way and this way.
Yeah.
So what I want to get is, are there little nuggets you can give to someone who's like, listen, I know for a fact that the people these guys are trying to attract are exactly my audience. How do they position themselves, and how do they get a proposal up and going to say, okay, listen, let me attack these guys.
Oh yeah.
An example being your name, you come to Bond, you're like, look guys, I noticed that you caught Batwache your target market. I happen to do voice adverts that sound like this. And I think this speaks to these people because they read this kind of magazine and they do that. So you also need to give them data, give them factual data.
Yeah.
Okay.
About.
And what kind of data works in this country? Am I like someone you were saying, the guy was asking, do I then show you my likes? What do I then do?
The data he's talking about is
Yeah.
I have done this. I've converted these people. My voice resonates better. I don't know when I is a voiceover artist or Karen, but I've read this report from the LCA about radio that says there are more men listening to radio than women. You understand?
Okay.
They give you the stats, who listens, with the sample size, they broke it down.
Yeah.
So for you, you're going to have to have that kind of data and say, but why I'm going to give one that, and they need a deeper voice like mine. Your kind of voice. Then you're going to say, I've worked with, the data you're going to present is that I've worked with NetBank, I've sold condoms and stuff, with my voice.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Those are kind of things that that's the data he's talking about. And also, if you have what we call conversion rate, then you can actually say, I've converted a lot of things from advert to sale, conversion to sale. So that's the kind of data you need to provide.
Okay.
And don't be afraid. Most of the corporates know what they want.
Yes.
Just be that gap. Be what they want.
Meet that gap. Okay.
Yeah. And
Understand
that vision
your brand.
Vision is to get to satisfy the customers, resonate to the customers with the product. So you be that vehicle, that cargo that takes this product to the customers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys on a very casual level. There's a commonly held belief that there's a lot of handover yaspani in this industry. So just because maps tender as motor quick, fast, and casual. And I want to ask on that. Do you guys, not to comment on that per se, but do you guys think is it the network that matters more in these particular industries, or is it you? Live CV is it you being able to present your value to the entity itself?
So let's make an example, pure example. You know what we call golf course?
Yes.
You know people who go there?
Yeah.
Billionaires.
Yeah.
And millionaires.
Sure.
When you go and on Facebook and advertise your stuff, they won't see that.
Yeah.
So networking is important.
Definitely.
So despite of your talent or what you do, if you don't speak to the right people who would listen and understand you,
yes,
it's like selling carrots to an Eskimo. You're selling something that they don't want.
Carrots? You get
I'm just trying to figure out. So Eskimos don't eat carrots?
This Gary Miller guy.
They
don't know that. But anyway, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
For me, you need to speak to the right people. You need to present your stuff to the right people. Make your research.
Yeah.
When you go to a company, of course, in marketing, we have different divisions. I'm responsible for ambassadors, creating content, and managing radio stations. If you want one of those, if you go to my boss, he will actually take you to me.
Yeah.
You understand? But if you go to one of my colleagues, and my colleague is busy with print, that's not the same.
They don't care about that, No, so I get that. So that's why my ask is, if I do my research and I'm not in any way affiliated with some of the heavy hitters in the industry, but I do my research, I see that Pulumo is the guy to talk to for these things. I have a really good proposal. I know this is something they need, and I find you. I present to you. I'm saying, do you guys believe that it's enough, or is it just more valuable for me to be affiliated within the industry?
It's a combination of both.
Thank you, that.
Because, like he's saying, you could be dope, really dope at what you do, but if I don't know you, or if Pulumo doesn't know you, he's gonna call somebody he knows, right? And say, hey man, I wouldn't dress around Nkopa. So if Nkopa isn't in the network or doesn't have anybody to speak positively about, I don't know, he's really dope.
Yeah.
Pulumo doesn't have the confidence to give you that job.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Yauko was like a connection.
Yeah, because my thinking is, I know I definitely got in this industry, not necessarily through connection, but because someone was like, listen, we just need someone to do this. It was a low budget job. They just needed someone to do it. Someone who is not gonna charge much. They're just like, hey, boss, just do this. If you desire spane remat.
Ntina, Ibizong connection has been a taboo a lot of times.
Yeah.
And let's not make it a taboo. Maybe we can call it as we go on.
Yes.
But how a connection is, there's just something off about it.
Definitely.
Not for me.
Yeah.
I would say networking.
Okay. Networking.
I would say networking because if I go to my colleagues and say, this guy 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
He's good. They are all experts and they know my work. So okay, for our company.
Yeah.
You understand? And it goes with the craft that you have, the finesse that you can, that you can present, and how you do your work. How do you make my work easy?
Okay.
How
Add
do you
value.
make? That's
How
what
do you
Mav
add-
sells.
Yeah.
How do you add value to my day?
Yeah, because I give out the call. You should do me.
Yeah.
If it were an answer, hot man. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Hey.
Okay. So those are things say I believe in as a what do you call as a business partner. I believe my suppliers should actually add more value to the work that I do. Kisa to my bosses. Yeah.
I mean, my company's name is the Motive Public Relations Network. My whole thing is relationships.
Yes.
If I have a relationship with you and you can't do the job, I know you'll find me somebody who will. And I'll
Yes.
trust that person because I trust you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm able to get a call from Pulumo because I make his life easy. He doesn't have to call 7 people.
Yeah.
He calls me and all the people I bring to him, he doesn't have to vet.
Yeah.
Because he trusts me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be that.
Yeah.
Be that. Just be dependable as a supplier. Be there and when you have sometimes I go through my phone and see where you feel and say, what missed calls did I get?
Yeah.
I did as a growing up in this industry, I didn't care.
Yeah.
But I think those are things that I've learned maybe from my mentors and obviously my boss say maybe you should just go down and see those red labeled calls and go back to them. Sure. All of them. On your way back home, call. I missed your call. Then you get to know. Personal branding man.
Sure.
Sincerely, off. Meeting. Very important. I couldn't answer. WhatsApp. I promise you. WhatsApp blind.
Yeah.
You don't even know where people get your number. But you're gonna have to obey musability. Yeah. Now I count myself as a servant of customers.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have to answer calls. I rush in on a receptioning. How there are ladies there trying to do their research, and then I'm pressed. Now going at. I promise you. Like basically, I have to tell them, hey, let me go in reception in battle. Let's a motan batting. Have a it's an email with a questionnaire go around. I have to service these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So muteno no mwe bang lo pasa sekolo sa. O tlang hopola ga ne ke thusu ke khotman le lenje.
Sure.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it goes that way. Those car thusa only people.
Also, treat people the way you want to be treated, man.
Yeah.
Like he said earlier, when
it's
it's
not
a rich
easy.
customer, or a poor client, or I treat all my clients with the same priority because you don't know who's gonna be up tomorrow. You don't know who's gonna be down.
Yeah.
You also don't want to put out that kind of energy. So when you put out positive, like he said, when you put out positive energy, positive things happen.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Let's pivot a bit here and talk on advertising. As a quick yes or no, do you guys feel like the level of advertising we're doing in this country is at the level, at least it should be, for the market of this country?
Not for me. I think Vodacom is at the right place, man.
We didn't ask companies what I am. You didn't buy time on this show.
I'm sorry. Okay. Let me do this. Let
Yes
me say
or no?
this. Oh yes.
Yeah, maps,
Sugar
sugar, spice, and everything.
I
nice,
have
but
to
yeah.
be careful how I answer that.
Yeah.
I think they can definitely do more. The ones that are spending are really spending. And
Are they spending well? So also, this is a quick
that's
yes
a
or
different
no.
question.
I need a yes or no. So is it a no from you? He
Are
said
they-
yes. On the
Are they
advertising.
spending? Yes. Are they
No, no,
spending?
no, no. Is the
They-
level of advertising in this country at the level it should be for the market of this country?
No.
Okay. And now this is why we then go into the why for 5 marks.
Okay.
You have to qualify your response. Maps, we'll start with you. Yeah.
Why? Why no?
Yeah.
I think the easiest answer I can give is that a lot of our marketing spend, a lot of our marketing focus for a lot of the brands, the local brands, is very urban focused. It's very Maseru focused. You know, we
Facts.
We don't really include the rest of the country.
The other 9.
Just look at when you look at the newspaper. Everything you're reading about is
Yeah.
Maseru,
Facts.
right?
It's only ever scary things from the other 9 that they put in the
Facts.
newspapers. They only put the scary
Exactly,
things, yeah.
So I think companies could definitely be doing better communicating with the rest of the country. Yeah.
Facts.
Okay.
I agree with him.
Okay. And you said yes without name dropping your company once.
Of course, of course. So I said yes because this is my line of work,
Yeah.
and I think sometimes we even think we are too ahead, so that to an extent that maybe our customers cannot understand what we're trying to say. You understand? So
Is that not speaking to misalignment more than you being ahead?
maybe you're right.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think maybe you are right. But with people who have experience with outside advertising, you've been in SA, you've seen that kind of, you watch DSTV.
Yeah.
You've seen what they do.
So,
and
yeah.
I would say from that perspective, yes, we are good. But I want to say no again. Let me say, let me
For
just
5 marks, yeah.
under the maps.
Yeah.
I think we are this one thing that we call Maseru a cash cow, you know, because that's where we make the most money from, you know, and you want to advertise to the people in Maseru, you know what? And I think that's the business model that makes more sense because these are people who make money for you. Yeah? You need to speak to them, encourage them, and stuff. But there's a very thin line. You would understand people resonate more with the language that we speak in the other districts than in our. I get that the stories, the stories, the stories that resonate with us more than
And we're not doing enough of
TikTok and
those
stuff.
stories.
And we are not doing enough of those stories. So it's a science. It's a science that you need to learn almost every day.
Yeah.
But I think with advertising, we are in the right path because of TikTok, because of social media, I would say. But TikTok because of other algorithm attributes that it provides. And and the time as we grow up, studies show that the attention span is getting
Less and less, yeah.
because you know why we have a broad how no show let's say SABC 1 couple 2 couple 3 now you can change, you can go on YouTube, change it, Apple TV, guide, Netflix. There's such a variety of things that you can choose. So attention span is about because you have options.
Yeah.
So what says to advertising? You need to be punchy. You need to
Quick in and out.
Yeah.
done.
But also be relevant to people. Be relevant to what people are saying. Like what he's saying for TikTok is high up there. But also as advertisers, what TikTok gives you in terms of feedback and whatever, it starts telling you the language people are using in Botabote, the language people are using in Malisuku.
Okay.
And you start, if you're a clever advertiser, you start integrating that into your advertising language.
Then you start doing like your hashtags.
Exactly.
Zugu, hashtag,
Exactly.
Leribe, you know?
Yeah.
And it's understanding the algorithm also.
Yeah.
And I think also we are still because what we call our country and not we are not a paid country. We cannot monetize on social media.
Okay.
So we call it not paid country. So that means YouTube. We had YouTube ads in 2020, COVID. Because you cannot monetize on them.
Yeah.
So our YouTubers are not getting paid for that. TikTokers, you're not getting paid. For you to be a content creator makes money out of corporates and collaborations.
Yeah.
So it says a lot about advertising. That means if I'm running an ad on Facebook, it's more powerful when it's organic than when it's sponsored.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'll ask, just as a quick side on that, are the corporates not best positioned to lobby for Lesotho to be a paid country?
We are, but on a digital, I would say what Google would say, or other countries would say.
Yeah.
And let me talk about TikTok because I've spoken to them. They would say, according to them, according to our population and maybe smartphone penetration and how on TikTok versus their money they need to invest in for us to be a paid country, high balance. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. In simple terms, I don't want to go technical.
Yes.
But we will get there as we get more people using
apps.
internet, being very internet included and stuff. So maybe a certain part of people. Let's say we have 400,000 people from our country on TikTok.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also think the regulator has to work on that. I think LCA is doing a phenomenal job by trying.
You have to say that. You absolutely have to say that.
No,
Go-
honestly,
You have
my
to
guy.
say that.
No, it's public knowledge, my guy.
That LCA is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Okay.
including people. It's working for people to actually have smartphones.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's installing the towers for free.
Yeah.
For people. So though I think maybe ambassador, but they are doing a
Can't
good job.
because you're already doing unpaid work.
Hi, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a wonderful job they're doing. Yeah.
Now I want to speak on alignment. A lot of I'll say a number of us or two often feel that the misalignment in advertising is often a consequence of these things being based in Pretoria. So whoever's getting the final say is in Gauteng somewhere. They never take the time to fully understand. There's a copy paste culture that happens when obviously there are certain companies that are ahead with their marketing, but when we speak across the spectrum of companies that are invested in marketing in one way or another, there's a copy paste culture where you even see they go as far as in billboards that are AI generated and even the Sesotho some of the Sesotho that's written there, you're like this does not relate to anyone here.
Bro.
I have a big gripe with that.
Who's this for that you're doing?
I have a big gripe with that because the approach is very generic.
Yeah.
And that's primarily because our makeup, Alabasotu, were homogenous, right? So, mashallah, whatever brand, their adverts in South Africa has speak to 11 different cultures, 11 different languages, 11 different whatever. So it's cheaper for them, or Lesotho, to say, by the Free State, South Sotho, this, that. You know what I mean? As opposed to investing in now curating stuff specifically for here.
Yeah.
But there are a few companies that actually try to localize the marketing language, try to localize the models they use, the voice artists they use, the producers they use.
Because I hate seeing people I don't know on billboards.
Bro.
I hate seeing it.
And you can tell when
there's
it's
so
not-
many models.
Bro.
You see
And
it,
you can
someone
tell.
I think it's supported.
Yeah.
Mfethu, you can just go on Mid Journey and generate a picture of someone who doesn't exist, and generally you sell your product with that. But with other companies, you see people you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention them.
And you can't mention them anymore. You can't. You reach your cap.
Bro. But there are companies
Yeah.
There are companies who would actually print a lot of material
Yeah.
surrounding, like a football pitch
Yeah.
with people you don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I must give some credit to some companies, like one or two of my
Also,
clients.
what a job.
I must give credit to one or two of my clients who make it a thing. They insist that, look, man, you need to find Basotho models. I need you to shoot this in the Ludi. I don't need a green screen, So
Yeah.
the few that do, you gotta give them,
And
because it's
very
expensive. Also.
Yeah,
It's
expensive. Fact.
Fair, but my understanding is surely the return on investment must be good.
Of course.
Are you guys not just cutting
course.
costs for the sake of cutting costs? Because marketing budgets in South Africa, where most of these companies are headquartered, are like 3x, 4 times what it is here.
True.
If you
Facts.
ask for just twice as much as what you're getting, then it won't be as expensive.
But I've also just explained their justification. They're speaking to 11 different demographics.
Yeah.
Or one.
Yeah. Therefore,
Their target market here.
fact checker.
So what, 58 million, I
Fact
think?
checker.
Yeah.
Shama population
Hey,
am
it's
Zanzi
too
10
crazy,
over
like,
10 million.
I fully understand it, but
Yeah.
why a lot of companies that now try to penetrate this market? Not companies that are now fully established. Companies will come here and say, I can offer this service to Basotho. I've seen Basotho don't have this. Why they fail is because most of them don't take the time to understand the nuances of Basotho. Why Batomrija won't buy that thing? just simply because you didn't understand the culture. And I'm just using Morija, of course, as an example, but there's very subtle nuances that exist within this, homogeneous people. So I really think, even so.
Okay. How many?
64 now, Jesus, man.
So
it's also a numbers
64
game.
Yeah, 64 point mama million as opposed to 3 million.
2.1.
2.1 million.
I mean, like 2.4
So you
now.
cannot.
And then
I think we're coming
2.1 year, no.
together. I think we're coming
Banana
together.
buy empower Ellen target market that specific companies
so-
probably
so-
100,000.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense for them to spend 10 million to reach 100,000 people. When they can spend 100,000.
Hear me out.
And there's a
reach all of
company
them.
that has 1 million subscribers. 1 million.
Yeah, I wonder what company that is.
Yeah,
Anyway.
give me peace.
Oh my God.
Boss, you owe us so
don't-
much money.
Bro, don't blip it.
From all this advertising you're doing. But my thing is, I feel like you guys are not being fair with the
man,
numbers you're using.
Okay, let me be fair, because I'm actually on the other side. He's the guy that we're fighting for more money, right? You and I are on the creative side of it. We want to get paid more. Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with also precedent. A lot of the brands have never had to spend a lot of advertising money to push brand here, right? So it's strange for them when you're charging 100,000 for a video. It's just like, what? Lesotho mo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for a long time, the increase is very slow and very minimal.
Yeah.
But now with the advent of TikTok, the advent of everything else, they're starting to see the value of content creation. So it's a catch-22, right? You don't quite pay me enough to have the really expensive cameras, but you want the really expensive camera type work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why talk?
No, I hear it. And that's you guys, you corporates.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
better than that.
Because
also,
advertise about
I'm advertising on 1 million
No,
subscribers.
I understand, bro.
Because also my thing is, it's not necessarily about getting every 3 months I'm getting 100K work for my content creation, whatever. I'm more of an advocate of creating a formalized industry. I believe, like I spoke about this on previous episodes, that for this to happen, just this show, this podcast, all three of us, we're just the talent. We came here to speak. We're drinking coffee, we're drinking water. There's a whole production team behind all of this.
They need you to get paid.
They need to get paid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The idea is for there to be a fantastic value chain. There needs to be people who are in front of the camera, in front of the mics, who are doing all of that. But there's a whole team who are writing the scripts.
Yep.
Who are doing all of this. Who are just, I need someone to just focus on lighting and say that's what they do. Untso etsa matsatsing a wena hana.
Shabane le di-live.
Ene ba sheba ka nnete.
So
Le
that's-
ke etsang ke lighting.
So that's on us, right? As the industry or as the talent, it's on us to get more organized. It's on us to collaborate and say, guys, look, the Pulumo approach about house is on 2,000. How is happy? This is the standard price and whatever, but this is why.
Yeah.
You understand? So it has to be organized, structured, and justified.
Yeah. I made this argument last time that the structure shouldn't come from the industry. It should come from Bemba Mokoti, the people who are paying for the services.
Bro,
And
no. That's not going to happen.
Hear me out. Hear me
But
out. Hear me out. Can I just let me qualify this,
Yeah.
and then you can call me out. Okay. My argument was, most of the people in the industry just want to do the art. They don't understand the nitty-gritties. They don't understand the procedures that need to happen, and it's really hard to get that message across. However, there's nothing that will inspire you more than you being the stumbling block to your money. So if Bond says, listen, the only way for us to pay you, you need to submit your business license, you need to do this, you need to do this. I then now understand the need for me to register myself as an entity. As opposed to now when I'm still getting paid, ka petty cash,
Oh, wapatal.
Go.
Wapatal.
Not at all. Give a good company. Go ahead. Your quality company, you're not. But I'm saying, if you realize that you're not gonna thrive in the industry because you don't have the necessary credentials or the requirements to entry, then you're the one. I don't need to now, as Pauli Polo, be an advocate to other artists to, hey guys, it's important for you to take yourself as a brand, etc. etc.
You want to make me spill this lovely coffee on my leg t-shirt, but let me answer you. I think it has to be from both, because remember what I said earlier. Corporates are not in the business of what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Occasionally, they need your services to push what they do, right?
Occasionally.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's about the corporate saying, okay, listen, guys, for this to increase or whatever, you need to stand. We have this expectation at this level.
Yeah.
It's up to us to tell them, no, that won't work because A, B, C, D. No, this will work because of A, B, C, D. So it takes both. It takes us as the creatives, and it takes the corporates as well.
Fair.
Yeah. So it has to be both.
No, okay, fair. No, on that, I will say, I think, gentlemen, we need to do a follow-up conversation. It'll definitely be sponsored by M-Pesa and or Vodacom. But I would like to ask if you guys have any closing remarks or any piece of advice that you would want to give someone who's trying to get into the branding game, who's trying to be on a billboard, who's maybe trying to buy a billboard space. You know, is there a parting shot that you would like to give these people before we quickly close?
Yeah, I would say for anyone who wants to be on a billboard, or maybe do this content creation thing, or work with a company, start with content, be true to yourself, and try to learn as quick as possible. Yeah, try to read books of content creators, and it will give you a different perspective. Then have faith, and Jesus loves you.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey.
I just think we need more plumbers and mechanics. So, no, there's enough brand. No, I'm joking. I think first thing is be original. Be different from everything else that's out there. You know what I mean? Be original. Bring something that is not here. You don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel, but just add more value. Secondly, study the brands you want to collaborate with. Study the people you want to collaborate with. Figure out what steps you need to take for them to take you seriously. Remember, they're not in the business of what you do. They're in the business of what they do. So make yourself valuable to them. Make it easy for Pulumo to get to his desk tomorrow morning or Monday. Go through your email and say, perfect, this is what I'm pitching at 10 to my boss.
Yeah.
Because you spend the whole weekend studying what he needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. Where do we find you on your socials, including LinkedIn, if that's a social media platform that you consider as well?
Oh yeah, now on all platforms, Pulumo Taole. About on Instagram again, Moruti Kobe.
Okay.
So Kobe is my name, man.
How is Kobe
It's in-
spelled? Not Spudanza. Okay.
No,
Kobe.
Kobe. The late Kobe.
Okay.
So this is FIFA name. I
Okay.
used to be, yeah.
And Matt?
Not Lampumana Gamatsik. No, man. At Entertain Maps on Instagram, Emotive PR on Instagram, or just check out Emotive PR page on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. My name is Party Polo. Thank you so much to Bond Lifestyle for having us. Shout out to the Jump Podcast. Shout out to our in-studio audience that is also politely still with us. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. You did say...
You gotta comment. The coffee is really good, by the
Yeah?
way. So shout out
The
to Bond
coffee.
for
Oh,
coffee is
fair.
really good. Nese ke tswile go manna ka tlo fuwa.
That's on. No, fantastic stuff. You guys did say that you've been missing us. We put out one episode and then we vanished for a bit. We are trying to be more consistent. We will be with you
I want
guys
consistency.
far more regular and often. We are telling you guys, we're taking personal branding
Yeah.
very seriously. And we're
Ba, ba,
taking
ba,
branding
ba.
as Majiteng.
So shout
very
out to your
seriously. We'll see
people.
you guys next time with these same people as Pesa and Vodacom does sponsor us. It was fantastic. to
I
have
hope
you
so.
guys.
I pray in the name of Jesus.
Yes, this was the Majiteng podcast. Have a good one. And please remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Ba, 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 ba.
We outside.